Hi, I'm Joni Brewer with Brewer Hypnosis, and this is an introductory video to EFT, Emotional Freedom Techniques, oftentimes called tapping. In this video, we're going to talk about why do we need tapping? What's the point? We're going to talk about the different points that we tap on, and also how do we know if it's working? So let's start with why do we need it? Well, if you've noticed children, little kids, toddlers, babies, they just let their emotions go right on through. You know exactly how they're feeling. One moment they're happy, and then they're crying, and they're sad, and then they're asleep, and so it goes. And it's kind of like a river. We have this river that goes through in our lives. And as we go through life, we start tossing sticks and rocks and boulders and logs into our river, and pretty soon things get backed up. And that's what happens with our energy too, with our emotions. We just allow them to get stuck. So with EFT, we can start to move those rocks and boulders and sticks and logs out of our stream and start allowing that energy to just move through again. We want energy to move through. Even things that we think of as good, we want that emotion to move through also. We don't want anything to get stopped up because it'll get stagnant. We don't want that to happen. So how do we know if something's working? Well, we have this really great scale. You see, down here is the reverse numbers. If you're down here, you're going backwards. This is where you're not feeling good. Maybe you're annoyed at somebody, things aren't just going right, whatever it might be. But this is the reverse numbers. We don't want to be here because we don't want to go backwards in our life. And then we've got up here 1 to 1, that's neutral. We're just in place. Again, that's not where we want to be in our lives. We want to be moving forward in our lives. And that's what's up here. Here we're into drive, and this is where we want to be. You know, even if you are doing something simple at home, maybe you have to do yard work or you have to vacuum, whatever it is, if you can be up here, it goes so much easier. So before we start tapping, before I start showing you the different points, what I'd like you to do is just notice where you are right now. Just whatever number pops into your mind. Are you down here in reverse somewhere? Maybe you're just neutral. Perhaps you're in drive. Notice where you are. All right, now that you have that, let's go ahead and learn about the tapping spots. We start with tapping right here on the side of the hand. This is often the place where we call it the setup point. This is where we acknowledge what we're feeling. So it may be something like, I'm feeling sad, or I'm feeling tired, I'm feeling anxious. And then we say, and I accept myself, because we do. We accept that this is how we feel. We need to acknowledge that this is how we feel. So what is it for you right now? What were you thinking about when you looked at the scale? All right, our next point is at the top of the head. And that's really easy, isn't it? I just use all 4 fingers, just tap. Our next point is on the inside of the eyebrows here, just right up here. Now I always use 2 or 3 fingers just to make sure I've got them. And then our next point is on the outside of the eyebrows. Again, 2 or 3 fingers. Then we move underneath the eyes, underneath the nose, underneath the mouth. Now this next one is underneath the collarbones. So you can feel those little points that you have right here. You feel those little points and you go down and out about an inch. And you've got that little place right there. That's the collarbones. Next, we have underneath the arms. So this is right along the bra line. Okay, so right here. Now, some people do it like this. Some people prefer to do it like this. Or you could even go like this. Whatever works for you is just fine. Next, we're going to talk about the points that are on the hands, the fingers. Now, what some people do is they simply wrap their hand all the way around, and you can get all the points that way if you like. What some people like to do is they get to this place and they like to take a deep breath and say the word peace. And that feels good. Some people like to bring their wrists together and tap like this. We can also tap on all of the fingers. What we're looking for is right beside the fingernail. Okay, so be right beside the fingernail here. There's a number of ways of doing that. We can simply tap along here, right along the fingernails. We can also do this with both hands. If you put your thumbs together, like you're making a butterfly, and tap. Point your fingers out and tap. Middle fingers, ring fingers, and little fingers. All right, let's go through those points again. Start at the top of the head, then the inside of the eyebrows. Now, you can use both hands. You can use one hand. You can use the other hand. It doesn't really matter, whatever works best for you. Outside of the eyebrows. Now, people ask me, how hard should I be tapping? Well, you should feel it, but don't give yourself bruises. Next is under the eyes. And under the nose. Under the mouth. And then underneath your collarbones. People also ask, how fast should I tap? Tap what's right for you. We don't want to be going slow, but we don't want to go like this either and get all anxious about the whole thing. But do what's right for you. Underneath the arms. And then let's just go through the fingers again. Just tap. And your first fingers. Middle fingers. Ring fingers. And little fingers. Tap right here. Take a deep breath. Now, out of curiosity, where are you now on the scale? Have you moved up on the scale? We weren't even really working on anything, were we? And yet, you may have noticed that you've moved up on the scale. Isn't that great? All right, the next thing that I want to show you is just how you can tap for yourself. So when you are feeling something that you don't want, something you want to just move, maybe you just want to feel better, okay? Like, oh man, got to get the dishes done, really don't want to, got to get it done. I'm going to tap, I'm going to feel better about this. Notice where that feeling of not wanting to get the dishes done is in your body. Maybe it's in your chest. Notice what color it is. Notice the texture. The size. Now, find something for yourself right now that you would like to just work on a little bit, okay? Notice where it is in your body, the color, the texture, and the size. All right, using our scale here, what number would you put it at? What's the first thing that comes to mind? That's kind of the tricky part about all of this, is you just need to look at what comes first to mind. That's your unconscious mind telling you what it is before your conscious mind can go, oh, well, no, we shouldn't feel that way about doing the dishes. Okay, if you have your number, let's go ahead and tap. And this time we're just going to do the colors, where it is, how it is, okay? So we're going to start tapping here. I feel like this. This is the way that I feel. That's okay. I accept myself. It's red, or put in whatever color it is for you. In my chest, or wherever it is for you. And it feels sticky, or whatever it is for you. In my chest, red, sticky. I'm ready for it to change. I want this to be different. I'm ready for it to move, to flow, to change. I'm ready to feel good. This feeling is going to move. Take a deep breath. All right, notice now, has the color changed? Has the texture changed? Has it changed size? And of course, very importantly, where is it on the scale now? All right, you can see how it's very easy for you to do this on your own things at home. All you have to do is, what is the feeling? Where do I notice it in my body? What's the color? What's the texture? And then start tapping. If you haven't moved on the scale, tap again. Sometimes it takes a little while, and that's okay. This is for you. You can do this. Thank you for watching this video. I'm Joni Brewer with Brewer Hypnosis.